questions. Question number 1. Name 5 American generals from any wars. Question number 2. Name 5 Americans who've won the Nobel Peace Prize. We had a group of Americans who have never been honored in their own country as a group. And these are the 24 Americans today who have won the Nobel Peace Prize. And what we are trying to do is establish an education program, which we have done. You can get lesson plans and educational materials off our website. And the big project recently has been a peace park in Eugene, Oregon, which displays plaques telling what each of the Nobel Peace Prize winners did to merit the Nobel Prize. Well, the Nobel Peace Prize is very unique in many ways. It has been awarded to people from all nations, all religions, all continents in the world. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be a famous politician to do any of these things. The outstanding American example I can give you is a woman named Jody Williams. And Jody Williams was very interested in the victims of landmines in Latin America, and she got onto her computer, nagged government and non-government officials. Eventually she lined up over 1,200 non-government organizations who in turn nagged their governments, and this resulted in a treaty banning the manufacturing and distribution of landmines. There are people who have ended wars. Teddy Roosevelt is one that comes to mind. Perhaps the most spectacular is a man named Ralph Bunche, who in 1948 negotiated a peace treaty between Israel and the Arab countries. And he did it in a spectacular fashion because the two sides never met face to face, so he had to do a shuttle diplomacy, literally. This is one of the most spectacular acts of diplomacy in the history of the world. Then there are people who have tried to prevent wars. Woodrow Wilson and this idea of the League of Nations would be one of them, certainly the most prominent. There are people who've aided the victims of war. The Quakers, American Friends Service Committee, who supply aid to the victims of war, no matter which side they were on. And then there are others who become noted with trying to create conditions that prevent the causes that lead to war. And Norman Borlaug, the father of the Green Revolution, is probably the most prominent of those. We're an all-volunteer organization here in Eugene, grassroots. We've raised money from various foundations and over 300 individual donors to make this Peace Park a possibility. Now, what we're looking for is some financial support, but also we're in the process of planning more peace awards than we've been giving, particularly for peace teachers. We're working out the details of that. Recently we had some vandalism in the Peace Park in Eugene, and we are looking for some emergency funds. So if anybody has some small bills, or better yet, bigger bills, we would appreciate your passing them on to us.